Hello and welcome to Instant Transmission, a podcast where we discuss everything Dragon Ball and my disappointment that this movie wasn't about Trunks. Tonight, we are putting on our plumber outfits and saving the princess as we prepare to bring you coverage of Dragon Ball Sleeping Princess in Devil's Castle. I'm your host, Dayton, and once again, I'm joined by my co-host, Todd.
Hi.
Tonight's episode will be Todd and I reviewing movie 2 in the original Dragon Ball lineup titled Dragon Ball Sleeping Princess in Devil's Castle, which was released in Japan in July of 1987 and dubbed here in the States by Funimation in December of 1998. So with all of that covered, was there anything you wanted to add before we got things started, Todd?
We can dive right into this one.
All right. Well, this movie begins with a narrator describing a gloomy castle that lies within 5 peaks called the Devil's Hand. This castle holds a beautiful sleeping princess guarded by legions from the underworld. This all sounds very spooky. I don't know what you think.
Yeah. I mean, it's quick 30, 60-second narrative giving us the sort of premise here. And then we shift past the intro to Goku flying on the Nimbus to meet with Master Roshi. And it starts to feel very familiar because Goku is asking Master Roshi to teach him to be his master in martial arts. So we're getting very much a sort of rehash or retelling of the anime when Goku asks Master Roshi to be his master.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a collection of events, some funny. Like there's a point where Master Roshi sits down at his living room table and opens what is definitely not a Budweiser as Goku's talking to him, and which I thought was hilarious. And pretty much as soon as Goku starts talking to Roshi, Krillin arrives on the island too, and we see him do this like somersault as he's flying through the air and just face plant into the sand of Roshi's very small little beach. So there's kind of this collection of comedies all happening all at once here.
Yeah, and I mean, this is almost one for one what happens in the original Dragon Ball anime with Krillin sticking his head in the sand on first arrival, but also followed by Krillin saying, hey, teach me how to do martial arts. And Roshi's like, all right, I need gifts. So he gets a pervy mag from Krillin. And then he says, all right, I'm going to test you boys. So go find this sleeping princess in Devil's Castle.
And right off the bat, I want to point this out here because I don't want to talk about it ever again. This initial scene was so jarring to me because the dubbing is so different from everything else that I had seen in Dragon Ball. They didn't use hardly any of the original voice actors from the original Dragon Ball series. Goku sounds weird. Roshi's voice sounds like someone trying to be Master Roshi, but it definitely isn't. There's a lot of just really off dubbing in this, and it starts off not so great, and it never gets any better.
No, it's very bad. We're talking about the English dub that we both watched, and I just got to bring up Bulma's voice is so bad. Most of these, like Goku and Bulma in particular, are not the voice actors that they used moving forward from Funimation. They are very early Funimation days, you can tell.
Yeah, and I mean, just in general, in the 90s, the American dubbing scene was not very well developed. So it's definitely a product of the time. And this is one that stands out pretty jarringly as not a good voiceover, which honestly, the other Dragon Ball products, even the original Dragon Ball series, sounded a lot better than this. So I just don't know what the heck happened here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure as far as official English dubs go for Dragon Ball, this might be the worst that I've ever heard.
It's definitely a candidate top 2.
Yeah, for sure.
So anyway, our heroes get all their bad voice acting out of the way, and then Roshi points them in the direction of this spooky castle. And he sends Krillin and Goku on a quest to go save the sleeping princess from there. And he forbids Goku from using the Nimbus, as it would be an unfair advantage over Krillin. And we saw Roshi do this in the original Dragon Ball series, right? The Nimbus would kind of circumvent any gains that Goku might get from the journey.
Yeah, so that feels familiar. Krillin and Goku start off in their race against one another to find the sleeping princess, and Krillin, as per the anime, starts by pulling his dirty tricks, tripping Goku and whatnot. He even cuts a rope bridge out from underneath Goku and throws a rock at him to get him to fall down this chasm. And all the while, every step of the way, Goku is outperforming Krillin. And again, all that feels familiar from the anime.
Yeah, not really anything um too noteworthy to talk about with their journey. It's kind of what we would expect. And on Roshi's Island, we see that Bulma, Yamcha, Puar, and Oolong kind of surprise visit Roshi at Kame House. And the gang's filled in on what the Young Bucks are off doing. And Bulma pretty quickly sniffs out that this is some weird plot for Master Roshi to actually get himself something versus actually helping the boys. But she's filled in on where they're going, and that crew all get into one of Bulma's planes and fly off in that direction.
Yeah. At which point we kind of cut back to Goku and Krillin, who arrive at the Devil's Castle. It looks like they call it the Devil's Hand, I believe. You see like these 5 stone spires sticking out of the ground, and they enter into the castle.
I will say I will give the movie some credit. Kind of the imagery of this place is kind of cool with the 5 different spires and the spooky castle. It's kind of a cool setting that they put together here. So I'll give them like a little bit of a nod of the cap here.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think we quickly see Yamcha, Balma, Puar, and Oolong in their plane, following after Goku and Krillin, and they get attacked by these demons, devils, whatever they are, these monsters that break into their plane, and then
Spoiler alert: we will never get an answer to what the hell any of this stuff is.
truly not, no. But all this chunk here was like the pacing was almost weird to me, or it almost felt like there was pieces that were missing, because we kind of cut from the monsters attacking Balma and Yamcha's plane to Balma is now in a bed, like lying asleep in a bedroom and awoken by a handsome vampire looking dude.
I believe his name was Lucifer, if I caught it correctly.
I think you're right, which is also interesting.
So the handsome Lucifer wakes Bulma up from her sleep, and Lucifer and his assistant Igor, which is kind of a small, weird looking old man with a giant syringe. They're very pleasant to Bulma, and they start leading her through the castle. And we don't stay here very long, as we're back over to Goku and Krillin, who are making their way further and further into the castle grounds. And they eventually run into this army of scaly, demony looking guys, much like the ones that run Bulma's plane. And we see them, teeth bared and guns and, charging out of the castle like maniacs. They run over our heroes and off into the distance, which I don't know why. I don't know what the reasoning for that was. And now it's just this one big red scaly man who appears to be, I guess, like the commander, facing off against our heroes.
I think this guy is even on the cover of the whatever it would be, VHS, DVD, the art for this movie. And unfortunately, he's not. I mean, we have a fight scene here with this guy and a bunch of the devil mooks, I guess. There's not a lot to speak of in terms of like good quality fight choreography or animation here. It's the big red demon guy has these 2 maces, and he tries to beat up Krillin and Goku, and then he's got these silks that he can use, which are kind of cool. But that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, it's a couple of neat ideas, but they're undercooked, right? I like that Goku has his power pole, and it's gonna be kind of a weapon v weapon fight, but it's not, because the big red demony guy swings once, misses, swings again, and then Goku knocks the mace out of his hand, and that's the end of the weapon fight.
Yeah.
There's really not much here. And I mean, there's a couple neat scenes of like the army shows back up and they're fighting just this, 300 scaly demony things. And you see the power pole. There's a scene where you follow it as it's moving across the faces of like 3 guys at once, knocking them all over. There's a couple things I want to like, but I wish they would have just dumped a little bit more time and effort into the scene, because it comes off as a little bit lacking.
Yes, very much so. I think we kind of we're cutting back and forth between Goku and Krillin and then Balma at this point, because Balma gets brought into a chamber with a throne where there's all kinds of monsters, and they're talking about doing a ritual, and she's kind of like the special guest, but she quickly figures out that they want to use her blood for something. They make it sound like they're going to drink her blood.
Yeah, and I guess that's what this big needle's going to be used for. That Igor, I believe, is a little henchman's name. Has been carrying around, and so I mean, it's a cool room. Like it's like several stories tall with different balconies, and there's all these demons, all chanting and hooting and hollering and stuff like that. I kind of like this room. Once again, I like the environment that they're building here. But I mean, Bulma gets restrained, and we get a dramatic cutaway where we see Krillin has snuck away and is now being carried off by a pterodactyl. So I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. Oh, actually, there was one point, I think we've kind of moved past it, but when Bulma first wakes up, there's one little bit of animation that I really enjoyed, and it's a silly
Oh
little
boy.
thing, but it's basically Bulma seeing, I think, the vampire guy, and or maybe it's the Igor guy, and she just has this goofy look on her face and like just a scared expression as her jaw literally unhinges and just like drops and hangs down. It's a silly little gag, but it's animated strangely well.
Yeah, they did. I even think it did like the rusty joint like squeak as it like went down and just basically hung there.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. It's silly, but it was fun. I was looking for things to, well, to be frank, to enjoy about this movie.
Yeah, I mean, if it seems like we're going through this movie fast, you're not mistaken. We're trying to.
It's a rough one. I think we cut back to Goku and Krillin kind of fighting the demons again. At which point the Goku and Krillin try to run away, or actually, I think Krillin gets abducted by a two-headed pterodactyl.
Krillin tries to sneak away while Goku's busy with the demon guy and ends up getting picked up by a two-headed pterodactyl. Goku notices this from like I don't know from where because Krillin like ran out of like down the cave and out the door and anyway, but Goku noticed. And he runs out to see Krillin bite the foot of the pterodactyl that's carrying him. And so Krillin begins to fall. Goku jumps on the Nimbus and swoops down and saves Krillin. And I actually like this scene
Yeah.
where Goku grabs Krillin and as he's flying away, like just right before like this big monster thing was going to eat him down at the bottom of this chasm, Goku starts flying away and he goes, "All right, glad I saved you," and sets him on the Nimbus, to which Krillin just falls right through and Goku has to save him again.
Yeah.
I thought it was a good gag.
It is a good gag. I liked this a lot too, where Krillin almost gets eaten a second time because he can't sit on the Nimbus because he's not pure of heart. Uh, and this kind of turns into. So I will say again, we actually talked about a scene or a concept similar to this next one in the first Dragon Ball movie, where the big red demon general guy comes out to chase after Goku and Krillin, and he like magically enhances his feet with flame so that he can fly, which is cool. Like this sets up a sequence where we can have a cool aerial combat scene. And even the red general guy comes out like swinging his silks trying to attack Goku, or he's got a trident, I think, even attacking Goku on the Nimbus, and Goku's using his power pole to defend. So really cool concept, but they just don't do a lot with it, just like the first movie, which is really a bummer.
Yeah, and I mean there's so much more space to explore here than say in like Z where everyone's just flying. There are limitations to these characters' flight, and so that's something that you could really see them play off of, whether it's targeting each other's capability of flying or maybe some of the downsides of doing flight the way that they're doing it. Like there's a lot of space to explore here, and I think you're absolutely right here. We don't explore that space. We kind of just keep moving along. As I don't know about you, but when all the flying guys with machine guns came out, my head went straight to Wizard of Oz. It's like this is like all the flying monkeys.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah, you're not wrong. We just need to give the flying monkeys some Uzis so they can shoot their enemies, I suppose. But
Yeah, and I mean we kind of get a non-fight here with the commander. Tons of flying demons with machine guns chase our heroes, and we go back over. Actually, I'm sorry. As our heroes are being chased, they sweep down into the chasm. And the red commander's following them, and he ends up being eaten by that giant monster that nearly ate Krillin. And that is the end of our red commander. So we really don't get the climactic battle that you kind of would expect.
Yeah, it was kind of a bummer. I think it was even more of a bummer because they don't really like the only setup you have for that is the fact that Krillin almost got eaten by that creature. They don't really set up like anything leading up to that either, like Goku, eyeballing the monster or anything like that. But I don't know. It's fine. The general is dead, and now Krillin and Goku enter into the chamber where Bulma is searching for the sleeping princess.
Yeah, and we also find out that Yamcha, Puar, and Oolong are all kind of like hidden in the crowd of demons. Yamcha's got like a disguise on, and Puar and Oolong can transform, so they just look like demons. And during this entire, I guess, collection of everybody finally in the same spot, we see that Lunch actually like crashes onto the scene here. And I had no idea that she was even at this place. Like they showed like one scene with her kind of earlier, and it's like a brief 3-second scene, and then suddenly she's in the ritual room. So this was kind of jarring to me. I don't know about you.
A little bit, yeah. I'm glad that they at least gave us that scene of her earlier because she was literally saying something about figuring out the riddle of the sleeping princess or something to that effect. But yeah, she just kind of shows up on the scene. She tries to steal the sleeping princess, which we find out is a valuable gem of some kind instead of an actual person. And yeah, she actually does take it. But on her escape, she her hair tickles her nose, and if anybody knows anything about Launch, she sneezes and turns into Blue Launch.
Yeah, and this causes her to just lose control of her motorcycle. She crashes it, she drops the crystal, and Goku and Krillin are in hot pursuit because they have to get this princess, air quotes, in order for Master Roshi to train them. And so they end up getting the crystal, but in the little bit of chaos that happened with the crash, Krillin's actually picked up and held by the throat by Lucifer, and he demands that Goku hand over the crystal in exchange for his friend's life, which Goku, of course, accepts. But when he hands over the crystal, what he receives in return is the beating of a lifetime by 30 scaly dudes.
Yeah, and specifically, there's we kind of glossed over it, but there's this little pink bat looking thing that has been nibbling on Goku throughout this entire exchange, and it finally nibbles onto Goku's tail, making it such that Goku's power weakens and the monsters are able to get the better of him in this instance.
Yeah, it's not like he just got overpowered. He was actually kind of kicking their butts, but once that thing got a hold of his tail, it was lights out. And with Goku defeated, the ritual continues. We see that the ceiling in their big room opens up, the moon moves into position, and this big like laser beam comes down and awakens the princess. So that's pretty cool. And apparently she's going to lead the world into unending darkness. Also pretty cool. But while this is happening, we find out that all of our heroes are outside, like cemented into a block. I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah, it kind of has like, I don't know, sort of Star Wars vibes here, but yeah, they're just stuck in this block. Their hands and heads are free, and the only good thing about that is that Goku looks up and sees a full moon and transforms into the Great Ape or Ozaru form.
Yeah, man, I want to say I was kind of disappointed in this. I was really disappointed in this because Goku, he smashes out of the block. Everyone's free. We see him in the Great Ape form. Just he begins start like smashing around. And by the way, the transformation was really weak. He just kind of
Oh yeah,
they showed like a midway point, and then he's the big guy. Like it's not a very good transformation. But he starts smashing his way through, and we see him like apparently he does enough damage to destroy one of the five fingers. But we don't really see much of it as about 5 seconds of smashing into him being a great ape, Puar turns into scissors and cuts off his tail. And I'm left here just blue balling because it should have been such a cool destructive scene where we get to see the great ape fighting like the armies of hell.
I agree. There's how quick this happens, like particularly Puar just turning into scissors and cutting off Goku's tail, is wild to me. There's almost no conflict. It's basically the form is used as a a tool to help the party escape the cement block effectively, and that's all it is. Like, it feels like it's just thrown in there for that, and just as like a reference to like, hey, remember Azaru, guys?
Yeah, they're definitely milking the Azaru reference here. I'm disappointed. Goku's naked now. That's a thing. So he's gonna put on Oolong's pants is what's gonna happen. But yeah, we see that the Princess Crystal is all charged up with moon energy, and get this, their plan, all right? Their plan is they're going to take this Princess Crystal charged up with moon energy, they're going to put it into a spooky cannon, and they're going to blow up the sun to bring in unending darkness. I don't know about you, but flawless plan, 10 out of 10.
I mean, I'm sure nothing could go wrong with this plan at all.
And our heroes arrive, just in time to fight the Lucifer, the main bad guy, before the cannon is shot. I would talk about this battle, but all it really is Lucifer firing off a few little orange like key ball things, which I thought we would get more of, or something. I thought we would get something here, but we don't. It's about 3 orange balls before he goes to fire the cannon, and then Goku fires a Kamehameha blast that blows everything up.
That's pretty much it. The only other thing that I would note in this is that Krillin saves Goku from Lucifer's ki blasts, and it's kind of like they're trying to expedite the transition of Krillin from like kind of a bad guy to kind of a good guy, which fine, whatever. But as Goku blows everything up, the big spooky cannon falls down into a pit, but before it does, it fires off its load into Lucifer's face.
Yep, Lucifer is disintegrated. He is assumably super dead. And the next scene is how it's a big, beautiful sunny day because the sun was not blown up. And everyone goes home and Master Roshi trains everyone.
That's the movie. I mean, Launch is the only other detail is Launch is considered the princess by Master Roshi. He doesn't seem to even care about the story about the gem, but he's got his pretty princess in Launch now, and yay, the day is won.
Man, all right. Now we got to get into this movie. There is so much wrong with this movie, and it's tough for me because it's not like it's just one thing I can put my finger on. It's the story isn't necessary because we start off with kind of a recap of how the characters get to Roshi's house and how he's not going to train them unless they accomplish a task or whatever. But then the journey they go on is so arbitrary, and it doesn't actually expand our knowledge of our characters, of the universe. It doesn't really. I don't know why this journey exists. Is the bad guy actually Lucifer? Because it doesn't seem like there's any sort of bait and switch here. I think it is just an army of evil dead that are trying to blow up the sun, unless there's something I missed.
No, that's about it. It's so I've prior to us watching these for the recordings, I've seen most Dragon Ball content that's been produced. This is one that I had not seen until watching it for the podcast, and I could have gone my entire life never watching this movie. It is truly one of the worst pieces of Dragon Ball media that I've seen. It's man, like it's just kind of a rehash of some events that happen in the anime, and then giving us a different trial for Goku and Krillin to win over Master Roshi to become his students. And it's just a worse story. To say nothing of the, I know we said we weren't going to touch on it, but the terrible dubbing. I don't. There's no good action. Like, I don't. My favorite part was Balma's jaw unhinging because it was like a funny looking animation that they put a lot of work into. That was like the highlight of this movie for me.
Yeah, and I mean, after we've gone through all the Dragon Ball Z movies, which is, man, there are some stinkers in there, but I don't know what it is about this one, but I was so bored. I was bored pretty much the entire way through. And then even the parts where, like, the couple parts where there are action, it's kind of it's like false action. There's excitement on the screen, but nothing's actually happening.
Yeah. like there are a couple of neat ideas. Like I like the big red demon. Even the big red demon's design is kind of cool. I like that he has weapons to fight Goku with. I like his like pink silk ribbon that he can shoot out to attack things with. I even like, I mean, like I said, I like him like enchanting his feet with flames so that he can go fly after Goku and fight him in the air. All of these things are cool concepts, but there's no substance to them. There's no good choreography or good animation. And then, I mean, the narrative is just bland. Like certain things feel like they are just shoehorned in here. And I mean, the Ozaru being probably one of the worst offenders of that. So I wish I had more good things to say about this one, but I just don't.
Yeah, this movie doesn't have any identity. Like it doesn't know what it's trying to be, and it doesn't really. You don't walk away after this movie and understand anything better about the universe of Dragon Ball. And that's fine. Like there are some movies out there that don't offer really any expansive knowledge of the characters or the setting, but they're fun. And this one isn't really that fun either. So I don't know what it's trying to accomplish. But a lot of it was lost to me, and I'm right there with you. It didn't help either that the voice acting was one of the more subpar ones I've ever heard. And man, it's tough. I really can't say anything good about this movie. It's a hard pass for me. There's no point in watching this. You're not missing anything, and you can spend 45 minutes doing literally anything and probably be more productive than seeing this.
Yeah, genuinely. If I would almost say if anybody is listening to this and has not watched the movie, learn from our mistake, and I wouldn't watch it. I would not spend time watching it.
I mean, it's right there with Bio Broly. It's what is the point of this movie? Like if you sat me down and said, "What do you want to watch, Bio Broly or Sleeping Princess again?" I might actually pick Bio Broly.
Bio Broly at least has one or two moments of decent action. I don't think this had any of that. So, yeah,
it's that bad. So, and I mean, it's always tough because sometimes we sit down before an episode like this one, right? Like where we know we don't have a ton of positive to say about it. So how do we record it? Well, we usually record it by touching on the points that we did like and then getting through it quickly. There weren't a lot of points that we did like, so I guess we more so did the latter than anything else this time around.
Yeah, it's true. And I mean, when I sit down to watch Dragon Ball media, I know that there is Dragon Ball media that doesn't have much of a good story or even has a bad story, but they still entertain me with the action. And there are like the original Dragon Ball has some great story and great action. I mean, same with Dragon Ball Z, sometimes with Dragon Ball Super. But this just didn't have it didn't have any of that. It didn't have good story, it didn't have good action. Like you got to give me something. There's something to keep me entertained.
It can't all be dips. There's got to be peaks at some point.
Yeah, exactly. But I really don't have much more to say about this one without just thrashing it more and more. Did you have anything else to say about it, Dayton?
Yeah, I kind of feel bad. Anyone listening to this is gonna be like, "Oh wow, thanks for just shitting on my favorite franchise for 28 minutes." Really appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, truly. I mean, sorry to anybody who is hoping to hear like, "Oh, this might be a cool movie to watch." Hard pass on this one, and watch a better Dragon Ball movie. Go watch the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie or something.
Oh my god, there are tons of good Dragon Ball movies out there. You're spoiled for choice if you want to pick a good movie. Don't watch this one.
Yeah, exactly. But I think that's going to be it for this episode of Instant Transmission, where we discuss everything Dragon Ball. This has been your host, Todd.
And Dayton.
Don't forget, we're on Patreon and Discord. If you want to drain our blood for your own ritual sacrifice, you can find us at patreon.com/ITDBpodcast.
You're moving us up that FBI list, aren't you?
Just trying to keep us all in sorts of trouble. The Discord link will be in the episode description, but you can also find it and all of our other links at linktree/ITDBpodcast. Thank you all so much for your support. Be sure to join us next time as we discuss our favorite filler arc in Dragon Ball.
Woo!
Dayton and I will each pick what we think is the pinnacle of all filler arcs and try to sell you on them. We'll also be covering the Dragon Ball Games Battle Hour news updates, and because of that, our podcast releases may be completely out of order for a week or two, so good luck figuring that out. Will fake Namek take the crown? Or is Brian Drummond as Copy Vegeta the best filler? Or will Goku and Piccolo getting their driver's licenses race away with our hearts? Find out next time. And to all our fellow Dragon Ball fans, stay safe out there, and remember to keep rocking the dragon.
Dude, I'm gonna have to start like paying royalties to Team 4-Star for my intros. Like, it's getting real lazy.
Hey man, if there's good jokes out there, we just steal some jokes.
Gosh, all right.